Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest. I hope you guys are all having a great start to your Friday. Today, we're going to be going over Cecil EX, Kane EX, Rosa EX, and the new Demon Wall that just came out on the JP side. We're going to talk about the upgrades, whether or not you should be hyped for them. I know a lot of people have been asking me if they should be, saving up for Kane EX. We're going to answer those questions. Let's go ahead and dig in. So the first thing to consider when we are going through this is going to be the stat upgrades. So Cecil's going to see a pretty big jump in HP. He's going to get up to 4,300, which for a tank is actually pretty good. And I wouldn't even really call him a tank. I would just call him a brawler, right? 449 attack. He's going to have 6 defense, 59 agility. So he's going to get +4 agility there. Almost +70 dexterity, and about +40 luck. So he's going to actually look pretty decent. Of course, he does have 10% magic weakness and dark weakness, so Black Rose Helena could potentially deal some terrible damage to him. We'll talk about what he might have in his kit to deal with that, though. His EX upgrade is really good. The Moon People's Blood support ability, originally defense 12, HP 12%, is going to become Those Who Save the Blue Star, defense 32 for self, and increase HP 12%. That is massive. That is 32 defense from one passive ability. I think about a lot of PvE content, and when you're getting defense 32, that is massive. He's going to be more difficult to take down than a lot of tanks, actually. And he really needs that defense because he does have access to Sub Soldier. So he does have less resistances because he's most likely going to be setting that attack up passive. So it's just going to fit really well in his kit. Defensive Dedication originally consumed 25% of his own HP and reduced the physical damage taken 50% for 3 times for allies. That's been upgraded to give an additional use, and it's only going to take 10% of his own HP. This is pretty good. I don't know how game-changing this will be, but I definitely like the direction this is going. And then his job level 25 ability I'm actually really excited for. It's called the Reward of Light, and it gives defense penetration 40 for 3 turns to self, increases damage as HP decreases, and it's a ranged 200% modifier attack. So this is just going to make light slash compositions that little bit more viable. It's going to give Cecil a little bit more power in those light slash comps to be able to chain, and I think it's going to be really good. Now, I did mention Black Rose Helena, and I kind of mentioned magic damage taken. He does have Guardian of Dedication, which may not help him, but it would give 50% damage reduction for 3 times to ally. Now, of course, Black Rose Helena can take down barriers, but something to think about as we are entering into a magic world. When Golbez comes out, since Golbez doesn't have any barrier break or any penetration really, we could actually see Cecil's Guardian Dedication being a viable counter to Golbez, assuming you're not going up against Black Rose Helena, Dwayne, and Golbez. Let's talk about my favorite unit, though. Rosa is one of my favorite units in the game, and personally, I hate that everybody uses Rosa as a mage because I have always used Rosa as a ranged attacker. And I think people think that's crazy, but she has so much starting AP. As a ranged attacker, she is so powerful. She is a beast if you build her for attack, and you'll notice her attack value is pretty high. It's up there with Cecil's, right? She has 422 in her EX form. Cecil has 449. So you definitely don't want to take that for granted. And I think a lot of people who try to make Rosa work, either just try to build her for black mage or white mage, and they kind of neglect this attack stat and her capability of having high AP, high damaging ranged attacks. Now, the upgrade she gets is pretty massive. She gets about 1100 HP. What I love is we get to see a huge attack increase. So we see almost an increase of 140 for her. Actually more around 150. Magic sees a very similar increase where she gets 170 magic increase. So she's going to be able to do attack. She's going to be able to do magic. It's going to be very versatile. Her dexterity is also going to get a +80. Her luck is going to get a +40. Now, This is important because a lot of people don't realize that there are modifiers on attacks that a character does. And for Rosa, whether it's an attack-based spell or an attack-based ability or magic-based ability, she gets a 15% modifier by dexterity or a 5% by luck. So looking at dexterity and looking at luck are really important when you are thinking about building Rosa and looking at Rosa. Now, in terms of her upgrades, I would say they're pretty good. I would say they definitely lean into her support side more, which is okay. I really think you could utilize Rosa as this support damage dealing unit. And for me, Rosa has always been a PvE unit, essentially, right? We saw just recently in the challenge mission where Pure Prayer was important to have, or, you know, some type of ability that would nullify status ailments. And Rosa has that, and that's what Pure Prayer is. It gets buffed to give Spirit 25 for 3 turns to allies, and it increases healing power 30 for 3 turns for allies. So that buff is going to be pretty powerful. Her upgrade to essentially her self-casting Curaga, her self-casting, or sorry, not Curaga, Curada, is basically going to become a self-casting instant heal, 210x modifier, so the same as Curada, but it's going to grant shell on the target for 3 turns. Again, in a world where we are dominated by magic users, this is going to be really nice and really powerful. You'll see Frozen Arrow says upgraded here, but that's upgraded by one of her other passives. It's not a new EX upgrade. And then finally, her job level 25 gives a rise. And this is great. I think a lot of people, though, try and make Rosa work in different ways that she's not really meant to, whether it's by trying to have her sub Black Mage and be a nuker, or try and have her sub White Mage and be a soul healer, when I really think she's going to be successful in that kind of hybrid role or some very, you know, powerful PvE unit. So I love Rosa. I can't wait for the Rosa upgrades, and I'm excited to see how Rosa is going to pair with Barret in the future as well. Kain. Now, this is the one everybody's waiting for, and Kain gets pretty good. He gets about 1,000 HP. His attack comes up to 458, which I wish I could have seen this attack be a little bit higher. His agility gets +4 at 61. He only gets +40 dexterity, so his dexterity is 204. You're not going to be critting a lot with 204 dexterity. Similarly, his luck gets about +30. So raw stat-wise, you know, yes, he gets about 120 more attack, but we're not seeing a lot of stat increase on Kain. And I think a lot of his power does come from that. And that is a bit of a drawback already. The one thing you have to consider, though, is that JP is in a spear-based meta. So it's possible we might see Kain be used in some other fashion. Now, what Kain is really good at is defense penetration. And basically, he gets an upgrade to Dragoon Knight Captain, essentially, which previously was attack 60%, decrease defense 5. That's going to get an additional 25 defense penetration on it and increased acquired AP by 30 for self, which is really good. He's going to get an upgrade to Dragon Raid Kai, which will dispel to fatal damage on the target and decrease healing power 50 for 3 turns on the opponent. This is important. It's also important to remember that his limit break has a 67% chance to inflict slow. Now, the reason these are important is his new job level 25 ability, Sealing Dive, is a 185% modifier with a 100% chance to seal counter. It's basically a dragon dive cast type of attack, but it increases modifier by 60% if the target has slow, confusion, auto restore, or healing power. So a lot of the times he can either go from Dragon Raid Kai to decrease healing power into Sealing Dive. He could go Dragon Bane, his limit break, into Sealing Dive, and it would be a 245x modifier attack, which is extremely powerful. So I don't think Kain is going to potentially be game changing. I do like his upgrades though, and I do think we might see some, you know, usage of Kain, especially with the dominance of dark units, right? We always see dark units dominating. So will I EX Kain? Probably, if not only just because of the raw stats and the capability of, you know, his potential, basically. We do have Demon Wall, which also got upgraded. And a Demon Walls upgrade, pretty standard, I would say, for Espers. Got, 4 more AP, 20 more attack. His agility became +1, which is good. +10 dexterity, and he got charm resistance, which is even better. In terms of his board, he got dark attack up, and he got some critical hit rate nodes. Not the best, but also Demon Wall is one of those kind of great espers, and I think having access to just more ability points on his board in general is going to be pretty good. The one drawback I would say is the crit rate isn't really going to do anything, so don't do that. Probably lean into the dark attack, maybe dark resistance. It seems like there's going to be a lot of dark comps with dark resistance. If you do factor in that that's kind of Golbez's saving grace, if you watched my last Golbez video. So, things to consider, we might see Demon Wall as part of a dark resistance build in the near future for anti-dark compositions. Anyway, everybody, thanks for watching. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your morning. I'm gonna have a great day and a happy Friday, and I will see you guys next time.